A report by the Centre reveals that over 50% of Malaysians believe drug users should be given fairer punishment. Researcher Tham Jia Vern weighs in on how we can effectively tackle domestic drug use in a more humane manner.
At 56% of our respondents are actually open to non-custodial sentences like community service, fines, or even rehabilitation, or no punishment at all for the offense of using less serious drugs like cannabis. And I think this speaks to how we can change the way we tackle the issue of drug use in the country, right? Such rehabilitative measures are actually provided for already in Malaysia. We're just not using these measures enough. So, for example, let me use the community service as an example, right? In the Human Development Plan of Penjara Malaysia, community service seems like an afterthought for some of these offenders, right? If you have good behavior, you might be looking at community service instead. But this thought requires you being sent in first instead of being out of it completely. So I'm hoping that this report changes that or opens the door to us even considering using community service from the get-go, that people don't have to be put through the system before meeting or being given an opportunity for more rehabilitative measures. Yeah.
There are many levels of drug use and abuse in the country. Javan suggests that for minor offences, Malaysia must consider rehabilitative solutions instead of jail time to provide a better path to recovery.
I think we need to start looking at pulling these very rehabilitative measures out. There are some in Dangerous Drugs Act, there are some that's under the purview of Penjara. Pull them out. We look at these minor drug offences and the way we are sentencing them, and put these nice, better measures into consideration in court proceedings itself, for example. So that would be a more preemptive measure to look at drug use and drug abuse in the country than what it is now.
Under Section 39 of the Dangerous Drug Act 1952, anyone found in possession of as little as 5 grams of heroin or morphine can face imprisonment for life. While Section 6 of the Act states that any person found in possession of opium, coca leaves or cannabis can face a fine of 20,000 ringgit or prison for not more than 5 years or both.
The first step to really do this is to relook at provisions in the Dangerous Drugs Act and the Drug Dependence Treatment and Rehabilitation Act, which is yet to be repealed or updated. The provisions that really tackle what our respondents think are clearly more minor drug offenses than the others. Because currently, let me raise an example from the DDA. It takes as little as 5 grams of morphine for you to be liable to not just a fine, but also a jail term, right? So what if we could relook at that provision from the aspect of intent of the crime, the type of drugs involved,